I was right in the middle of a juicy tale of intrigue and mystery, of course. But I put it down to go do some other stuff, and when I came back, it had flown the coop. Somebody made off with my book, and I'm gonna find out who, or what, or why. Hello? I know you took my book, you better be giving it back. Okay, all right. Wrong number. Second time today. Oh, there it is. All right. Man, I love a good mystery, but I especially love reading about them. That's what this video is going to be all about. Mystery books. Hi everyone, and welcome to another Book Talk with Talia. In today's episode, we're going to be talking all about books that have a little bit of mystery. So keep on watching and we'll get right into the books. If you're looking for something that mixes mystery with sci-fi, you'll want to check out Greystone Secrets #1, The Strangers by Margaret Peterson Haddix. So this is the first book in the Greystone Secrets series, and it follows 3 siblings, Chess, Emma, and Finn Greystone. One day, the 3 Greystone siblings come home from school and overhear a strange newscast about 3 people in Arizona that have been kidnapped. But what's even stranger is the 3 people in Arizona have the exact same names as the Greystone siblings and the same birthdays. So of course the Greystone siblings are a little freaked out. The day after the news broadcast, their mom says that she's going on a business trip and she doesn't know when she's coming back. The Greystone siblings are left with a woman who used to be friends with their mom named Mrs. Morales and Mrs. Morales' daughter, Natalie. So this huge mystery is floating around the Greystone siblings, the kids that were kidnapped in Arizona, and their mom's past. The Greystones start to notice a bunch of crazy things going on and they have to investigate. They end up sending both themselves and Natalie on a crazy mission to find out the truth. This book really reads like a puzzle, and as you're reading along, you can try and figure out the truth behind the Greystone siblings' past. And that was Greystone Secrets #1, The Strangers by Margaret Peterson Haddix. If you're looking for a mystery that may be just a bit supernatural or ghostly, check out Just South of Home by Karen Strong. In this book, 12-year-old Sarah lives with her mom and younger brother Ellis in Georgia. Sarah and Ellis have an 11-year-old cousin named Janie who lives in Chicago, but every summer she ends up coming to visit them for a couple days. This year, it turns out that Janie is actually going to be staying a few weeks with Sarah and Ellis. Sarah isn't so sure how she feels about this because even though she and Janie are only a year apart, they could not be more different. Sarah is very responsible and she wants to prove to her mom and her grandma that she can take care of herself and her younger brother this summer. But Janie is a bit of a troublemaker and she's used to using the 5-finger discount to get things that she wants. In fact, Janie is so bored staying in the small town life for a few weeks that she ends up convincing Sarah to go to this creepy haunted area. While they're there, Janie finds a necklace on the ground that she just so happens to pick up. Of course, the necklace turns out to be more than just a necklace, and by taking it, Janie may have awakened a spirit or a haint. So now the summer is just getting started and Sarah, Janie, Ellis, and their friend all have to try and figure out a way to put the haint to rest. And that was Just South of Home by Karen Strong. If you're looking for a mystery that's out of this world, pick up The Door at the End of the World by Caroline Carlson. Our story starts with 13-year-old Lucy, who is a deputy gatekeeper at the Door at the End of the World. In this universe, the end of the world is basically just a door where Lucy's world connects to other worlds. There's basically a network of 8 interconnected worlds, and Lucy just so happens to work at the gate to one of them. Even though Lucy's life might sound interesting, nothing crazy usually happens, and she's usually just sitting at her gate doing paperwork. But one day, Lucy's boss ends up disappearing, and a boy named Arthur comes through the gate accidentally. The weird thing about Arthur is that he has no clue that worlds beyond his own exist. The door also gets stuck behind Arthur, and Lucy ends up learning that the door being stuck might be a part of something a lot more sinister than she thought. Now Lucy, Arthur, and a suspicious girl named Rosemary have to take matters into their own hands to save the 7 worlds beyond them. And that was The Door at the End of the World by Caroline Carlson. If you like your mystery books to have puzzles you can try and solve, you should pick up Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Grabenstein. In this book, 12-year-old Kyle is a big fan of games. He likes board games, word games, and especially video games. When Kyle learns about an essay contest where he'll have the chance to win both an amazing prize and meet the brilliant billionaire game maker Luigi Lemoncello, he knows he has to enter. Mr. Lemoncello is also the genius behind the town's new public library. If Kyle gets picked, he'll get to see the new library before anyone else in town. Of course, lucky for him, Kyle turns out to be one of the 12-year-olds chosen. Kyle and the other 12-year-olds end up being kept in the library overnight. Mr. Lemoncello ends up giving the group a bunch of crazy puzzles that they have to figure out in order to escape the crazy and kind of magical library. If they win, they'll win a fabulous prize. If they don't, they might be stuck in the library forever. This book does read as interactive, so you can try and figure out the puzzles and solve all the clues as they come along. And that was Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Grabenstein. If you're looking for a classic series with some mystery throughout, you'll want to try A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. So you may have heard about this series before, but if you haven't, I'll just give you an idea of the first book. The story revolves around the Baudelaire siblings, 14-year-old Violet, 12-year-old Klaus, and the baby Sonny. Bad things always seem to happen to the Baudelaire siblings, as you might guess from the title. The story begins with a disaster that leaves the siblings orphaned, and it just gets worse from there. Violet, Klaus, and Sonny are put under the guardianship of their adult cousin, Count Olaf. But Count Olaf is no friendly relative. His master plan is to actually rob the children of their fortune and make their lives completely miserable. Throughout the series, there are tons of mysteries that the Baudelaire siblings have to try and solve, including the mystery behind their parents' past, their own misfortune, and more. And that is A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. And those are all of the mystery books that I have for you today, but of course, if you have some other mystery books that you'd like to talk about, don't forget to leave them in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of our videos, and hit the thumbs up button if you think any of these books sound interesting or if you've read these before and absolutely love them. And I will see you all in my next book talk. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!